Before starting the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and like the video. Thanks for your support. Now let's go to the video. A few years back, when Chevy was preparing to introduce an all-new Silverado heavy-duty pickup for 2020, we were eager to see what the new truck was all about. Our enthusiasm was dashed, however, once the sheet was pulled back. The truck's specs were impressive enough, but its styling quickly spawned a myriad of memes, and not the good kind. Thankfully, Chevy took those rebukes to heart and has addressed nearly all the previous truck's downsides. With the Silverado HD's 2020 for mid-cycle refresh, the snout has been sorted out. The interior is nearly all new, and there's more power to boot. Thankfully, Chevy has used the update of the 2020 for Silverado 2500HD and the rest of its HD lineup to hit the reset button on the truck's polarizing interior and exterior styling on the outside. The truck's new headlight and grille arrangement is the main improvement, and it's a big one. The much-maligned split headlight design was tossed in favor of a unified lighting element with a bent accent light on each side. That also serves as a daytime running lamp and turn signal. If we were to nitpick, we're not exactly sold on the Fox intakes Chevy stuffed under the new headlamps, but all in all, we're fans. Other than the update to the mug, Chevy fit new internals to the tail lamps but has otherwise left the truck's sheet metal alone. In the cabin, though, is where Chevy wisely focused the bulk of its 2020 for Silverado HD update energy. We've seen this interior layout before. It first appeared on the 2020 to Silverado half-done, and we remain impressed with Chevy's new 13.4-inch center touchscreen and 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster combo and the well-executed head-up display. The horizontal switchgear layout and physical buttons for the VUC control are also welcome, even if they are a bit crowded. We're still not super fond of the Google Maps integration, and the Hey Google voice command response is hit or miss. And even though the interior is quiet and comfortable, even on long highway slogs, we'd be remiss if we didn't question why, at nearly $90,000. The Silverado 2500HD High Country we tested, ISNT available with massaging seats and the premium Bose audio system that can be head-on light-duty Silverados. Thankfully, the Silverado Heavy Duty's mid-cycle refresh comes with more than just a pretty new face and inside space. The truck's L5P Duramax diesel engine received a substantial bump in power and torque thanks to a stout list of upgrades, including a new turbocharger, improved piston design, enhancements to the high-pressure fuel system, a new calibration, and more. The result is 470 horsepower and a massive 975 pounds-ft of torque. It's not quite best in class, but Chevy says there's no torque management system at play, which means the full brunt of the engine's torque can be used in first gear. The Duramax diesel engine and its insane torque is the best thing about this truck, despite tipping the scales at a staggering 8,269 pounds. The Silverado 2500HD rocketed from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.4 seconds during our testing. It's been a few years since we've tested any of the Silverado's heavy-duty brethren. Back in 2020 when they were last updated, the Ram 2500 with a Cummins diesel made the same sprint in 7.6 seconds, and Ford's F250 Super Duty with the updated 1,050 pound-ft Power Stroke did the deed in 7.2 seconds. Feel free to challenge your Ram and Ford truck buddies to a run down the drag strip because you'll smoke them heartily. The 2020 for Silverado 2500HD crossed the beams in 14.9 seconds at 93.1 miles per hour, easily beating both of those trucks. We suggest using auto four-wheel drive if you do though, as the wheel hop and tire spin without it can be intense. Getting the truck slowed down is equally impressive, and arguably more important to this genus of pickup. A hard stop from 60 miles per hour to 0 took just 138 feet, but the most impressive part about that number was the repeatability. We ran the test 10 times back-to-back before any real sign of brake fade appeared strong. Stop brakes are hugely important when hauling heavy loads, and the Chevy delivered on that front during our testing. Out on the highway, the truck drove much lighter than it actually is. Acceleration from a stop is brisk, even at part throttle, and the Allison-branded 10-speed automatic transmission fires off shifts that are equal parts smooth and quick. Passing on the highway is a complete non-event, with such immense power on tap, but the brake pedal feel could use a bit of work, as there's a lot of travel before you finally get into the meat of the binders. Our test truck was equipped with the company's digital variable steering assist, which provides a very light, almost too much steering feel with just the right amount of feedback. Its overall ride is about as good as it gets for a heavy-duty pickup. The combination of independent front suspension and twin-tube dampers from the optional Z71 package work well to tune out road undulations, expansion joints, and potholes in the front at least. The Silverado 2500HD stiff rear springs, which are necessary to enable the high towing and payload ratings, can result in an unyielding ride for rear passengers, but that's the cost of piloting a pickup that can tow a barn. If there's one thing these trucks are built to do better than anything else, it's tow. Automakers love advertising the big hero towing number, which in this case is 36,000 pounds for a regular cab two-wheel drive Silverado 2500HD. However, Chevy does a great job of letting owners know exactly what their truck is rated to tow as. Configured. A trailering information label on the door jamb of each Silverado lists everything you need to know, including gross vehicle weight rating, curb weight, max payload, and max towing. Our 2020 Silverado 2500HD High Country came with a conventional tow rating of 18,500 pounds and a gooseneck rating of 19,100 pounds. Not wanting our heavy-duty test pickup to suffer the injustice of hauling only air during its time with us, we hitched up a relatively light 8,200-pound 21-foot travel trailer and hit the road. Unsurprisingly, the Silverado barely acknowledged the trailer's existence. The truck pulled up grades with ease and slowed the load happily, with very little need for the trailer's supplemental brakes. We appreciate the suite of towing features Chevy provides, including a multitude of camera views that make everything from securing the hitch to tight turns easier. Unfortunately, although the cameras are quite helpful, the interior screen resolution has outpaced that of the cameras, which sometimes results in pixelated and oversaturated images, also suspect. After logging 300 miles of mostly highway towing, we calculated a fuel economy of just 10.5 mpg. We cringe at the thought of what effect a heavier load would have on the truck's range. Dressed in top-of-the-line high country trim, the Silverado 2500HD arrived with a slew of seriously impressive off-road hardware. Standard is an automatic locking G8 rear differential, a MOTRE transfer case with 4-wheel auto setting, and massive 34-inch tall 275/65 R2 Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner at tires. For an additional $325, the Z71 off-road package stacks twin-tube dampers, hill descent control, and an array of skid plates onto the standard hardware package. We pointed the heavy Chevy toward one of our favorite local off-roading areas to see how well the package worked, and we're happy to report that despite its size, the Silverado HD displayed impressive mount and goat abilities. When shifted into low range, the truck easily climbed steep trails strewn with cross ruts and lots of loose dirt and rocks. The suspension flexed impressively well for a heavy-duty pickup, keeping the tires in contact with the dirt while the automatic locking rear differential ensured that forward momentum never ceased. We'd prefer monotube dampers over the twin-tube units in the Z71 package, but they do a fine job of smoothing out small bumps and jitters. However, with the tires at full street pressure, Graded roads will still attempt to turn your kidneys into a fine pulp. You've been warned. Although our top-of-the-line high country trim's updated styling is impressive, Chevy has seemingly left the lower-tier trims behind. WT and custom trims don't benefit from either interior or exterior modernization, and LT gets only the freshened interior. If there is a silver lining to this refresh, it's that the upgraded Duramax diesel V8 is available for all trims. The high country trim package is so well executed that we sincerely hope the 2025 model year will see the new styling spread across the full line of Silverado HD pickups. Until then, let's hope the internet trolls don't catch wind of the disparity, because it's just about time for a fresh batch of memes.